Hi everyone, I'm Livia from Arduino marketing team. Welcome to the second day for Arduino birthday celebration. And Alicia and I will be the host for you today. And yesterday we introduced you the professional solution that we have for enterprise industry. But now it's completely the education day. So that's so exciting because we received so many of the applications from all over the world, from the educators and also the students. So because you know that Arduino has made a good impact in the education section. And now I will give the time to Alicia to introduce us what we've done this year for education.
Thank you, Livia. And hello, everybody, and welcome back to Arduino Days and to the Arduino Education Day. I'm Alicia, and I coordinate user experience activities for our educational products. Arduino Education is actually a very dear part to our company because we should never forget that Arduino was actually born in a school. The very first board was born in a school. And ever since, we've been trying to fill the gap between formal and traditional education and the job market. Our products indeed cover the entire education spectrum, from K-12 and elementary school solutions to higher education and universities up until career technology. Our range of solutions makes education accessible, we believe, thanks to our open source philosophy. And we really make an effort to make teaching easier, supporting educators and teachers with the content that we provide our kids with the idea that learning should be fun and it should be engaging. And we really try to make this happen thanks to our hands-on and project-based approach, where technology really becomes a tool to learn about science, but also to learn about soft skills like collaboration and critical thinking. So something we're very proud of about how this last year went is that we really supported and enlarged our network of educators and school leaders, which are very enthusiastic people that is working with us all the time, and daily collaboration support us in content development, in user testing, and really make our products user-centered and respecting also the community needs. Actually, we just came back from Didacta, Italy, which is one of the most important education fairs in Italy and part of a larger network of events in Europe. And it was great to see all our partners there and to overlook at the past collaborations and plan the future ones. So actually, talking about fairs, in January we also went at BET Show, which is a very important education technology in Europe, the main one. And we were very proud to come back with 2 BET awards, that, as you can see from our background. That is an incredible reward for all the hard work that we've all been making in the past years in developing our products. So one award was about the Arduino Cloud for Schools and the Explorer IoT Kit and the Greenhouse Kit, and it was the Innovation Award, which is very important for us. And the other award was for the best school collaboration, thanks to a great project that we realized with the Colegio San Jose de Las Vegas in Medellin, Colombia, and it was called the Medellin Challenge. So, well, beside this, of course, it was a very intense year of product launches. So we started the year with an updated version of our IoT Explore Kit, which is already an award-winning project. And it's a very valid product if you want to test out our cloud solutions as well. And then we released a new revision of our science kit to learn physics in a fun and engaging way using our Science Journal app. And very recently, we launched 2 very important products to us because they are really tackling subjects that were new to us. The PLC Starter Kit to bridge the gap between education and automation industry. And finally, we have very recently launched Alvik, our very first educational robot, and also the first, we hope, of a long list of products that will be based on MicroPython, and therefore using our MicroPython lab, which was also launched not so long ago. So it was very exciting here. We expect the year to come to be even more exciting by expanding some of these products to wider cloud applications. We are certainly going to work hard on our teachers community to strengthen our partnerships around the world with educators and school. And we are going to make it even stronger to be present in the full spectrum of education, from K-12 solutions all the way to the industry and to career technology. So make sure you follow up on us and you check our next steps.
Wow, that's a lot of fruitful project that we've done this year, so I didn't expect there's so much. But I catch up those kind of keywords that you mentioned. So it's our first time that we will introduce our new robots here, which is so exciting because I know that for all the product team, the R&D team, that they worked so hard for this project. And also that, so for today, that you can expect there will be the product managers. It's their first time to introduce in a very concrete way about our new robot. It's called Arduino Alvik. And we will also have the PLC Starter Kit, the science kit that you can see that they've already learned by a lot of students and teachers, and they are using in schools. Of course, that there's a lot of interesting projects that you can expect from our community. That it goes from K-12 and also university. So there's a lot of fun projects that you can expect today. And also at Arduino, we truly believe those kind of equality and also inclusivity is very, very crucial for us. So today, this is the first talk that you will see. It comes from the women and also the young girls who are using Arduino at a MakerSpace in Ghana. Let's check it out.
The MakerSpace, founded by Mr. Douglas Aite, is pioneering STEAM education with the aim to equip children and young adults aged 4 to 25 with advanced skills in robotics, artificial intelligence, coding, and 3D printing to address the disparities in tech education access. Our vision is to democratize computing education across all communities. We are focused on breaking down barriers and fostering an inclusive environment for learners from diverse backgrounds. Through innovative programs and strategic partnerships, we aspire to empower a new generation of tech innovators and leaders, making technology a tool for empowerment and societal progress. Here at the MakerSpace, we have resources such as the Arduino Starter Kit that aids in physical computing, robotic kits, and 3D printers that assist in facilitation. When it comes to training, the MakerSpace utilizes hands-on learning at the core of training as it empowers learners to become not just consumers of technology, but creators and innovators.
As an IT student from the University of Ghana, the Arduino for Hair project has been a game changer for me in my learning journey. Interacting with Arduino boards and IDE to bring projects to life was an amazing experience. The IDE has a user-friendly interface that makes it accessible, allowing me to quickly turn my ideas into reality. The immediate feedback I get from working with Arduino boosts my confidence and keeps me motivated. For instance, during the program, I, like many others, started with no prior experience with physical computing. However, within weeks, I was able to build a voice-controlled home automation project. I realized that Arduino is not just a tool, it's a gateway for me to explore and understand technology. I now volunteer with the MakerSpace to inspire girls in senior high school, like the diaspora girls, to venture into the STEM fields.
Arduino for Hair is an innovative and empowering project of the Place Girls, an initiative of the MakerSpace. Our mission is bold and clear: to inspire and equip girls and women to venture into the STEM fields. The Arduino for Hair initiative enriches community ties by hosting workshops that include local residents, establishing a mentorship network, and displaying students' projects at local events. A notable project, Top Intern by TV3 in Ghana, challenged participants to diverse solutions addressing sustainable development goals. Utilizing the MakerSpace as a creative and constructive hub, the participants were able to utilize the resources available to build their projects, such as smart greenhouse and automatic water level detector. Furthermore, the MakerSpace offers a supportive environment for students from various schools to develop their science projects, enhancing the value of technology education and promoting a culture of support and engagement within the community. This strategy not only highlights the significance of computing education, but also motivates widespread involvement in fostering tech education and innovation. The MakerSpace has become a hub for innovation within the community by serving as a collaborative space where participants and students from various schools come together to work on projects. It offers access to technology and resources otherwise unavailable to many in the community, fostering a culture of creativity, experimentation, and problem solving. Through workshop, mentorship, and community projects, it encourages the sharing of knowledge and skills, turning the MakerSpace into a central point for creativity and innovation. Throughout the project, we established connections with students from different universities in Ghana. These students hailing from diverse academic backgrounds, ranging from science and engineering to political science, demonstrated a strong enthusiasm for the program. They were keen to learn and engage, to integrate their newfound knowledge into their respective fields of study. Recently, we had one participant reaching out to me, telling me about her story of how she was able to impact over 50 students with her knowledge she gained from the Arduino for Her projects. We've also been able to collaborate with other organizations and impact other learners using the Arduino products. Some of the challenges we faced during our training sessions are resources and funds to further expand our projects. However, during our previous programs, we've had fundings from Engage. Through our efforts, we have successfully influenced 38 students across the Arduino for Her cohorts and over 300 students in collaboration with other organizations. And we are ambitiously aiming to expand our reach to reach over 1,000 girls. This expansion plan is not just about numbers. It is about deepening our impact, enhancing our curriculum, and building a more robust support for network to empower an even larger community of girls and women.
Now we are back. So I really hope that girls can make more impact on the tech industry. But let me ask you a question, Alicia. Do you know that MicroPython has been widely used in schools?
Yes, of course. Actually, MicroPython is taking a large space in higher education because it's easier to learn, and there's a lot of resources online for libraries. And this is why we have recently dedicated more space in our catalog to MicroPython solutions with the latest launch of Alvik and with the MicroPython Lab.
Wow, that's cool. So today that we have our colleague, Wubi Defel, who is one of the most coolest guy and also interesting developers that I've ever known before. And he's always passionate about all the new and also creative stuff. And he was also teaching the students in using Arduino, also other hardware to build and also to design their own product. And now I'm going to introduce Wubi, the creative tech lead at Arduino, that he will share with us some of the new updates that we've done in MicroPython. So welcome, Wubi.
Welcome to Arduino Days 2024. I'm Wubi Defeo, creative technologist and product owner at Arduino. I'm excited to share with you some updates related to MicroPython. We don't have a lot of time, so let's get to it. If I run this program, I can see a message being printed in the repo, and this message is blinking. Then we turn on an LED, we wait half a second, we turn it off, and we wait half a second, and we do this again. We're very familiar with this. If you look at the camera view, the LED is blinking. This is very common, but it involves importing some things. If you come from the Arduino world, you're used to things like digital write, pin mode, and so on. So from the very beginning, Arduino tried to simplify the amount of code that users would write in order to get something running. This works, but it is what we call a blocking program. During these 500 milliseconds, we can't do anything else. We can just wait. Let's see an evolution of this program. I want to implement something that is completely independent. A timer is an object that allows us to run scheduled tasks. So we can say, do this thing every X amount of time. So this would allow us to basically create something like a blinking LED that is independent from the time we want to pause or wait for something else. So we create a function called blinkme, and this function needs to know the timer that it's been called by. And then we define this variable, which is LED state, and it's a variable that will be true or false. And it will change at every time we call this blinkme. And if it is true, we turn the LED on. If it isn't, we'll turn it off. This is timer 0, so our first timer. And then we initialize it and we say run every 500 milliseconds, be a periodic, which means that every 500 milliseconds it's repeated. And when you hit this 500 milliseconds, use this function to do something. In the meantime, we can run a loop and we can wait 2 seconds. So will this be blocking our LED blinking? Let's stop the previous program, run this one, and you will see that there's a loop being printed every 2 seconds, but the blink keeps blinking at 500 milliseconds. You can see it from the camera view. It means that we can have a piece of code that runs without blocking or interfering with something else. This is extremely good. What if I don't want to be blocked at all? And let's stop this code. If I try to stop it, you can see that the blink message is still printed and the LED keeps on blinking. This means that this timer is not interrupted. There is, of course, a way to interrupt this timer, but it's not very friendly. Okay, the first thing that I can do, for instance, I can type in my REPL, blink underscore timer, and there is the printing that is interfering with me, getting me very confused. So, .the_init. I am familiar with this process and I have been battling it for a while. This means that I know not to get confused, but a beginner or another user would just think that they cannot really type into the REPL. I want to go to a third version of this code that has 2 timers, one that will blink the LED every 500 milliseconds and one that will print my message every 2000 milliseconds. So half a second and 2 seconds. And we have blink me, same function as before, and message called hello. Let's go to a 4th version. The 4th version introduces one more variable, and this is a button. So we are reading a button attached to a certain pin, and if this button is pressed, so if its value is true, then the red LED will turn on. This is the red LED. And if it isn't, the red LED will turn off. The reason why we use value 0 to turn it on and value 1 to turn it off is because of how this LED is connected to the board. But I will not get into the depth of electronics in this. I have now a blinker, I have a message, and I can freely read a button and cause an action, and nothing is interfering with anything else. And I have a blinking LED. From the screen, I have an hello message, and then I have a button. When I push the button, the red LED will go on. And look, the other LED keeps on blinking. I'm not interfering at all. When I release it, the red LED goes off. Completely asynchronous and no interruptions caused whatsoever. Now, let's stop this program. I had the same problem as before. You know, there is a quicker way to stop those timers. Resetting the board. This issues a soft reset. This will clear the RAM. My problem is that if I want to play with my board and whatever variable I have created in my program, they won't be available. Button will be unknown. The beauty of MicroPython is that it allows us to play with objects that we have created in our program. And when we run this program, these objects will be known to the MicroPython base board. And if I have to reset the board, I cannot do any kind of inspection. I cannot play with the variables or the objects that I have created. Here I have a new version of this code that introduces something else, a way to stop the timers and turn off the LEDs the moment I press stop. This is a try except construct, and basically tries to do something. And if during this something it encounters a sort of interrupt, like it can be the keyboard interrupt, it will handle it and perform some operations. So these operations will be resetting the timers, turning the blinking LED off, and turning off the red LED. So let's try this. We run the code. And yeah, it blinks. I can still use the red button, so on. And then I can stop the program. And there we go. So there is a keyboard interrupt, but the timers are not running anymore. This is all fine and dandy, but we wanted to remove these things that can create a lot of confusion in beginners. So how do we do it? Well, we have to go a little deeper. We decided to write a little bit of a runtime for MicroPython that is based on a couple of decades of creative coding experiments starting from processing. And this is where the Arduino language comes from. It essentially tries to simplify operations that have been complex for many years before. And if you have done any kind of creative coding, processing, or Arduino, you know about setup and loop. We love setup and loop because they simplify the process and they're easy to understand. So we came up with something that is called the Arduino runtime for MicroPython. And it's basically based all on this. From Arduino, import star. You can see that from the previous example, I had to import time, sleep milliseconds. I had to import the pin, and I had to import the timer. Right now, the only thing that I need to import is timer. And let's see how it works. Well, I create my timer objects, I initialize them, but I can also just use my setup to create all my things. I can initialize my timers in the setup. Setup will be called as the first thing when my program starts. Then I can create my loop. This is the loop in which I can read the value of the 6 to which my button is hooked. But you can see a difference here. I have 35 lines of code, and previously I had 43. I'm cutting corners by just simplifying. We're not creating button and red LED objects that contain pin references. We are just using some shorter commands that are digital write and digital read. So digital read will read the value of pin 6, and digital write will write the proper value to the proper pin. This pin is defined as LED red. And then at the end of it, I just say start, setup, loop, which means start my program, run setup first, and then run loop forever. And this is quite nice, but you can see that I'm not handling the keyboard interrupt anymore. What is going on here? Well, let's see what happens. So I'm going to run this code. It's blinking, it's creating, like all the text and all the blinking that is caused by the timers. And I can push the button, turn on the LED, and release it and turn it off. But now I'm not clearing the timers when I stop the program. So when I stop, I'm going to have the same problem as before. You may say inside the loop, try and accept keyboard interrupt. But I don't want to do that. I want something that abstracts this thing that has only one purpose. We introduced a new function that is called cleanup. Cleanup is executed if the user wants at the time that an interrupt is generated. This interrupt could be a keyboard interrupt, a stop, or just some other error thrown by some piece of MicroPython in some library that you are using. So let's see what happens here. I have cleanup, and then I say start, setup, loop, and cleanup. Cleanup will be executed when our program stops because of an interrupt, like a keyboard stop. So let's do this. What happens in my cleanup? It prints cleanup, it de-inits this timer, this other timer, turns the LED on D13 to low, and turns the red LED to high. This will turn it off. I'm going to reset, and I'm going to run the program. So I have my blink is working, I have my button working, and when I stop, I get this message, clean up, which means that this is invoked, and you see there are no leftover timers or object running. The cleanup method is something that I think nobody has officially done, and it's very useful in some education contexts in which you want the student or the beginner to reset something that might otherwise interfere with what they're coding. And this is all for today, but I really hope you have a lot of fun watching our other videos. You have a great day. Ciao.
Well, thank you very much, Ubi, for all the relevant information, and we're really looking forward to see in the future what other application we will come up with for higher education and MicroPython. And well, talking about higher education, we also see a lot of advanced projects coming from schools all over the world that really makes it relevant because they really try to tackle real-world problems. And this is, for instance, the case for Professor Altillo from the Mehran University, which is going to introduce next a very relevant project where they have tried with tiny machine learning to tackle the problem of visually impaired individuals. So let's see what the solution is about.
Hello everyone and welcome to Arduino Day 2024 from Mehran University of Engineering and Technology, Jamshoro. I am Professor Dr. Atiya Bakai from Department of Electronic Engineering.
The project which we want to discuss for Arduino Day 2024 is Advancement in Braille Learning tool with the help of Edge AI. It is basically based on Arduino Nano BLE Sense using the machine learning tools which are provided by the Edge Impulse. We are a team in which I am advisor and mentor to the students who are pursuing this project as their final year project at the Department of Electronic Engineering, Mehran University of Engineering and Technology. Team is also incubated at National Expansion Plan to National Incubation Center, Mehran University, with a startup named as TechTlearn. As a professor at the university, I always seek opportunities to update myself and my students, and I strive to acquire the latest equipment and components for them to experiment and explore. One of the achievements from last year is obtaining 10 Arduino Tiny ML kits from Edge Impulse and securing funding approval to establish an Edge AI lab in my department. The mission is to develop a Braille learning device with the help of cutting-edge technology to help visually impaired children learn different Braille patterns with a joyful experience. Here, from cutting edge, we mean embedded ML or Edge AI technology. Our device offers the features like record maintenance, how the student is performing, auto-grading, a student can learn and play independently without the teacher's or helper's assistance, and can know about his scores with the help of audio feedback. This device is portable and cost-effective, which is extendable, as we can build many educational activities and modules around it by just adding the extra features through programming. There can be various extensions to this device operating mechanism and modules like learning alphabets, shapes, or numbers in a fun way. This project demonstrates recognition of alphabets as a proof of concept. Methodology is simple. We are using Arduino Nano BLE Sense 33 as heart of this project. Alphabets are encoded in Braille on our own custom-designed wooden blocks, easy to grip and feel through tactile information. The child is asked to place a particular alphabet in front of the camera, which is OV7675 in this project. It captures the images live and compare with the alphabet patterns we have stored in the database by using Edge Impulse. An audio feedback and instructions guide the child side by side and updates him about his score with the help of a speaker with encouraging sounds.
Place letter E. Try again. Congratulations.
It was asked to place the letter E in front of the camera for classification, but a child's mistake led to the placement of letter G instead. Consequently, the Edge Impulse platform correctly identified the pattern as the letter G,
based on the input received. The same results can also be displayed on the serial monitor. The serial monitor indicated the successful detection of the correct pattern with a score. The app features a user-friendly layout starting with a home page showcasing these game modules with navigation to score page for performance in each module. Harnessing Edge Impulse Transfer Learning Model MobileNet V1, our project benefits from an efficient image processing pipeline with 96 by 96 image size, enabling extraction of 9,216 features for the robust analysis, achieving an impressive accuracy rate of 97% with 60 number of training cycles. This model, utilizing a mere 124.7 KB peak RAM and 303K flash, optimizing resource allocation for the enhanced performance. We are in consultation with Hands Pakistan, a non-government and non-profit organization which is currently spearheading a project for the visually impaired in Dadu and Larkana districts of Sindh province of Pakistan. They expressed a keen interest in collaborating with us to promote inclusive learning for the visually impaired children. These are our contact details. You can find us on the LinkedIn page and our Facebook page of Learn. Thank you for watching. Happy birthday, Arduino.
Wow, it's so nice that the technology can change people's life and also help people's life in this way. So, but now I will be so excited to introduce you that this is the most exciting part for us, that there will be waiting for from so many of the people that we are waiting for this product for so long. And now, Alicia, I know that you were developing together with all the product team with our Alvik product. So I'm really curious about that. Can you share us more about this experience?
Yes, of course. I couldn't wait for this.
Wow!
So this
Alvik!
is our new robot.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to Alvik. Alvik is our first educational robot, and it was such a journey to develop it. It's also one of the most complex products that Arduino ever developed. So we learned a lot from it, and we can't wait to see people learning from it. Actually, because Jose couldn't be with us today, and he was also very deeply involved in the development process of Alvik, we recorded a video yesterday where we go through all the details of the development, of the content, of the technicalities. It's going to be a video with me as well, so it's going to be a bit of a double identity. And then it will be followed also by a live connection from Didacta Florence, from our local partner CampuStore, that have launched for the first time in Italy the robot over the past few days during the fair. And then finally, we're also going to have a moment with Austin Gardner, the teacher from Altillo International School that collaborated with us from the early development of the robot and helped us understanding the requirements that the product had to have, and he developed all the content in MicroPython for our online course. So he's been a key actor in the overall development. So let's check it out together. Hello everybody, welcome to Arduino Day. I'm Alicia and I lead product management activities for Arduino Education.
Hi everyone, I'm Jose. Welcome to the Arduino Day. I work in Arduino as a product owner for Arduino products.
So we're here today to introduce you to Arduino Alvik, our newly launched product. It's more than a product, it's a platform, because we really designed it keeping versatility and flexibility in mind for our community to design their own use cases while learning about robotics. Arduino Alvik mount a Nano ESP32, right Jose?
Yes, Alvik used the Nano ESP32 as microcontroller because it brings Wi-Fi and Bluetooth features to the robot, but also it is a low power consumption controller, so it is very good for robotic application. Besides those features, the Nano ESP32 has also a big memory that allows us to use MicroPython, which is a easy entry-level programming language, which makes Alvik ideal to start on the robotics, coding, and electronics. But Alvik is not only going to be compatible with MicroPython, it is going to be also compatible with block programming language through the MBlock IDE, and also with Arduino C or C++ language for more high-level use cases. But besides these programming languages, Alvik has much more features, right, Alice?
Yeah, well, we have made it packed with sensors. So we are mounting a sensor bar in the front, mounting a time-of-flight matrix sensor. And the very nice thing is that the sensor bar is replaceable. So if in the future users may want to design their own sensor bar, they will be able to do so, also because it's going to be, of course, an open source product. And we are also having an IMU sensor on board, which is allowing to detect tilt and orientation. We have a color sensor at the bottom for line following exercises or in general color detection. And the sky is the limit because at the back we also have some Grove and Quick connectors, so you can just add your own sensors and write your own code to imagine possible use cases. We should also mention that we have capacitive touch sensors at the top, so you can more easily interact with the robot in class. And we have a rechargeable and replaceable battery, which means that you can play all day long with it without having to charge it and then just let it charge at night. And then once the battery is done, then you can just replace it. So it's going to be a very powerful tool for teaching and maker use cases. So we designed the product with the teaching use cases in mind. We actually have developed much of its design and the content together with teachers. So it was really a co-design process with teachers from different grades. So we're developing a class in MicroPython with higher education teachers. We're developing a block-based development class using Embark with the elementary school teachers. But the idea is also to go beyond the educational field because we really want this to become also a maker product in order to welcome and expand on all the possible use cases that our community may want to do with it. Right, Jose?
Yeah, as you said, we develop it with education in mind, but it doesn't mean that the robot can be only used in education. So we cannot wait to see the robot in robot competitions or any other applications, even artistic applications.
Yeah, of course. Also because let's not forget that we have equipped the robot with the Lego mount on two sides and also M3 screws mount. So you can really build up your own use cases on top of it, like robot arms or drawing plotters for artistic applications or whatever users may want to imagine with it.
Yep. Then, well, now that you know a little bit more Alvik, so you can go to our platform and join the waiting list, so you make sure that you don't miss it.
Okay, so after 1 year in the making, I think we can say we're very proud of how Alvik turned out to be, but we cannot wait to know what the community thinks about. So go out there, buy it, and let us know, reach out, and let us know what you think about it. Right, Jose?
Yeah, please.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Hi Arduiners! Greetings from Didacta 2024. We are in Florence, in Italy, for the main exhibition for schools, headmaster, teachers, and we are plenty of visitors in these days. We are here, but we are thinking about you. In the CampuStore booth, which is huge, as normally we are running a lot of workshops about Arduino and a lot of activities. But we are very excited, especially because we are presenting for the very first time in person Arduino Alvik, which is the robot we were waiting for a lot. And to see it in action here from Italy, from Didacta, we have my amazing colleague Pietro Alberti.
Hi everyone. Nice to meet you here at Didacta Florence. Here we are at the nice booth of Arduino with the newest Arduino Alvik. Okay, Arduino Alvik, as you can see, is a nice kit, but it's more than a kit. It's a way to explore robotics, MicroPython, and many other STEM activities and subjects. It is a very small size robot. You have technology in one hand, and in addition, the rechargeable battery is included. The lesson plans included is about 19 activities that help teacher in IoT and AI activities. So nice.
Thank you, Pietro. Well, Arduino is trying to present this robot to make sure that it's a entry experience for Arduino ecosystem, and where you can learn from very beginning interactive projects, and where you can also expand to many projects. So I hope with these robots, teachers, students can have fun exploring the technology and engineering in their study lives. Thank you.
Oh man, those kids and their crazy ideas. Ever since I introduced them to Arduino, they won't leave me alone. I swear. I could use a pick-me-up right now. Hey, Alvik, that's exactly what I needed, thank you. And in my favorite mug as well. You're awesome. Hello world, my name is Austin Gardner, and I'm a design and technology teacher at Altillo International School in Spain. We're also a lab school with the International Schools Partnership. And what that means is we're working very hard to pioneer the future of education with new technology, really to build the life competencies that the future generation really needs. Over the last few years at our school, we've been working to build a strong maker community, practicing maker education, hosting maker fairs. We're actually here right now shooting inside of our in-school Fab Lab. We've just built a junior MakerSpace for the primary students as well. And Arduino has always been at the heart of this movement. So we fell in love with Arduino a few years ago. We've been working with it quite a lot. We've also done quite a bit with different robotics products as well. And all of this is really based around project-based learning, getting very hands-on, layering the theory in as we go, but really engaging the students by giving them something meaningful to do. One thing that I've noticed as a teacher is students always enjoy working with robots. Of course, it's something we need for the future, we demand for the future, but for me, the top priority is that the student is engaged. If the student is engaged, then the student is learning. And getting hands-on with physical computing, it triggers that, right? It triggers that engagement in students and it makes them want more. And there's so much that we can talk about this, but I really want to focus on this product, on Alvik and how I see it being used in the classroom. We've been experimenting a bit now already with the students and the response has been great. And I see it as something that I can use really in primary. And since it's versatile, it will adapt with the different learning stages of the student. I imagine that we're going to use this product up through middle school, high school, really until the student graduates, and the student could really carry on and work with this at university level, which you'll understand more about this in just a moment when I highlight the features. So I've been working with Arduino to help work on the key features that we need as teachers. And that's something I really appreciate as well, is Arduino is not simply taking a product and putting it out in the market without understanding the needs of teachers. They're really working closely with the teacher community that I'm part of to understand what we want and what we need. So I think that if you're a teacher like me interested in something like this, I think that you'll be very happy with the features. All right, let's explore some of the features. Starting on the top, we have an Arduino Nano ESP32, one of my new favorite boards for sure. And that is what is running the scripts and controlling the entire robot carrier. We've got some capacitive touch buttons as well. Moving to the front, we've got here the time of flight sensor to measure distance, and below a line follower array of sensors. And at last underneath, there's also a color sensor that we see. Inside, there is one other sensor, which I love, and that is an IMU. Very fun to play with. And let's see, moving on to the bottom. Inside here, we have a rechargeable battery, very useful. It is really charging the entire time it's plugged in your scripting, by the way. I've never had to do an extra charge on this robot, so I really appreciate that as a teacher. Very precise motors. These are rotary encoded, so you're going to get absolute precision. Moving on to the back, this is, I think, one of my favorite features, and on the sides as well. And it's all of these options for upgrades to really adapt the robot to your needs. You'll see that we've got quick and I2C Grove connections. There's also 2 connection points for servo motors. So you should see, and you may also hear the motors adapt their speeds depending on the distance of my hand. We have our function here at the top, and then inside of our loop, this is the code. Okay, let's give this a try and see how it adapts its speeds. Very slow. Let's bring my hand even closer. And then there's a spot right about here where it doesn't move. And if I bring my hand away, it will go slowly, and watch what happens. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish I had more time to show you more of the features and more demos, but we'll have to save that for another day, another time. You're welcome to contact me if you have any thoughts or questions. I'd love to hear from you, from fellow makers, fellow educators, and I hope that you all are out there inspiring the world to make a difference. If you get a chance to get your hands on Alvik, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you contribute all of the amazing learning to the bigger community so that we can support each other. You guys keep on making and keep on inspiring the world. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
So we saw a lot of comments in our YouTube channel right now. I'm going to answer the first one, which there's one person asking us, how can I start with Arduino programming? Which is very crucial question that we need to answer,
ABC.
right? Yeah, of course. So actually, Arduino is based on the
C++
C++.
language?
Yeah, I always forgot about the words C++. So, but actually, that you can choose our hardware, which is the starter kit, that you can use it like anywhere at home or schools. And there's the Facebooks that you can find when you purchase product. And then we have plenty of the tutorials that you can find on the docs.arduino.cc, that there is plenty of materials, plenty of the docs that you can find and also start to learn your programming with Arduino.
Yeah, I know there was also another question about whether Alvik would come with some code examples, and the answer is, of course, yes. So there's going to be in our courses area, there will be a dedicated course on MicroPython for Alvik. So you will find there guided exercises with step-by-step guide and also the script samples that go with it. So, well, we're very happy about the launch of Alvik. It's going to be very soon available online. And of course, we can't wait to know what our community thinks about. So the moment you get one in your hands, please reach out to let us know about your experience with it. And in case you want to be the first one to know and to get your hands on one of them, you can actually sign up for our waiting list. On our store page, you can search for the Alvik product page, and you will find a link where you can type in your email address, so that we will inform you once the sales are open, and you can be between the first ones to try it out.
So Alicia, let's talk about a little bit gossip, internal Arduino. So I'm a little bit curious about that. What's the co-founder from Arduino that they are doing?
Oh yeah, I would like to know as well. What about it?
But I think if you ask them, like any one of them, that maybe you should spend the whole week to hear and also let them to tell their stories.
Okay, yeah, well, they always move in the shadows, but they're always with us. And this is why we have recorded a video with David Quartielles that will tell us something about his experience over the past year and something special to share, to celebrate with us this Arduino Day.
What a surprising! So I can't wait to see how David brings us. Let's open the gift box.
Yeah, hello, this is David Quartielles, co-founder of Arduino, and I'm here to talk today a little bit about the initiatives in education that we did in the last 12 months. I mean, we had plenty of different initiatives, so I will just summarize briefly a couple of them, just to give you an overview of the kind of things we can do, and might open the possibility to collaborate with some of you in the future. So first of all, during the summer 2023, we participated in a workshop arranged by UNESCO at the ICTP, which is a Central for Theoretical Physics that is in Trieste in Italy, and it was about the creation of a TinyML curriculum to standardize how TinyML is taught at universities all around the world. As a result, for this first workshop, we came up with a white paper that will be briefly published. As well, with the city of Medellin, we collaborated in a project that brought together 7 high schools from all over the world, like the United States, India, obviously Colombia, Mexico, and so on. And where they worked in a hackathon for some time on the topic of sustainability. They developed different projects and they used our Explore IoT kit. So the projects were interacting with the cloud, using like physical devices on site and so on. During January 2024, we were very lucky to be invited to visit BITS Goa, which is a technical university in India. And there we spent 2 weeks visiting the facilities, participating in activities with students, giving talks and mentoring different clubs, like the clubs of robotics, the clubs of like flying unmanned flight vehicles, and so on. I mean, there were really plenty. I was very overwhelmed to see how many different clubs a single university can actually have. Later on, we also participated in a conference in Argentina with the government there. We went to Buenos Aires and talked about the digitalization of education and different methodologies for education. We've been experimenting with 6 different pedagogical models, and people were really eager to hear about what we could say about how technology can be used in secondary education and which kind of models for education can work, how you introduce the content to the teachers and the teachers how they introduce the content to the students, and so on. Furthermore, in collaboration with Elsevier, a pretty big academic publishing house, we made a special issue for the open access journal Hardware X, which is a journal where people can document how they do projects with hardware. And in this particular case, we work with something that is called Arduino Open Source Instrumentation Laboratory. And the idea is that people are publishing articles that have to do with the idea of hacking existing electronic devices, or maybe not electronic devices, like for example, a microscope could be added a motor, and how that could be used to upcycle very expensive laboratory equipment that otherwise would be neglected and forgotten because of being obsolete. We got 15 amazing publications that include all sorts of different kinds of projects, including, for example, a machine to assist in brain surgery, a system to calculate how to throw different objects using different techniques, and how to measure the speed and how they're being thrown away, and so on and so forth. So up to like 15 different laboratory devices that were designed using Arduino boards. Finally, we're gonna leave this interview, or this presentation, sorry, without talking about the newly coming products from Arduino Education. There is 2 highlights that I would like to talk about. One is the newly made robot called Alvik, and Alvik runs on an ESP32, one of our latest Arduino Nano boards. And it's a very nice looking square robot that has like amazing powerful features. So it can be used all the way from primary to university, depending on the level of involvement. It can be programmed in C++, in MicroPython, and in a block language. Finally, we have a new device. It's the Arduino PLC. It's called Opta. We have created an educational kit for it. It's a PLC kit that will allow people to learn about how to build different industrial machinery, and it's really aimed at vocational education and engineering educations, where they want to learn how like true machines work on the factory floor, because Opta is actually a true Arduino professional factory floor microcomputer. So that's all. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next year at the Arduino Day. Goodbye. Happy Arduino Day 2024. Whoops.
So it's so glad that we have David here to celebrate and also to introduce all this camp project with us. And from David's mentioning, I remember that he mentioned about Madeline Challenge, which is a very cool project we have last year. So they are using our Arduino Cloud and also the Explore IoT kit. And which is the coolest part is that they are connect community all together. And I think this is really part of the project that we wanted to have them connect to the real world challenge.
Yeah, it was a very interesting project from an educational perspective because of this, and it was very nice to see over the time the project was realized, how the students connected to the communities and how they turned the problem into a solution and the solution into an interactive prototype. And well, this is why the project was worth a beta award, and a very relevant beta award about school collaboration. So it made us very proud indeed.
Yeah, truly, I'm so proud of the whole team, and I think that we should thank everyone and good job. And now let's see another cool community project from Mexico. So welcome Anna and also Diego from Moon Makers. They are really something that they are so energetic.
So
welcome.
enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Hello everyone!
Hola and welcome to this global celebration of innovation and creativity, Arduino Day 2024. And this special day, we come together to share, learn, and explore the endless possibilities of Arduino.
Yeah, my name is Diego.
And I'm Camila, broadcasting from Mexico.
Any Taco fan in the chat or any fan of the project-based learning?
Awesome! We are co-founder of
Moon Makers!
This is an educational brand that promotes science, technology, and the maker movement. Creating and developing resources and maker experience with STEAM.
Exactly. Not only to inspire you, but also to help develop the skills, turn ideas into reality. Our mission has always been clear.
To democratize the knowledge in technology, leading us to collaborate with renowned organizations all over Mexico, as well as renowned organizations worldwide.
We are collaborating with companies such as Sesame Street, Make Community, Sans Friday, and in Mexico, with CONACYT, Education Television, Fundación Televisa, Fundación Telefónica, and UNOI, creating educative content.
In addition, we have taken our passion of teaching through worship across the Mexican Republic, collaborating with Talalan, the Secretary of Education of Jalisco, and the Centro Cultural España. This wide collaboration and experience have allowed us to ensure that all resources are used by educational communities around the world, making a difference in the way new generation approach technology, right?
Yes, this has made our way of doing things better and help of creating learning materials that spark curiosity and creativity in our teachers, students, parents, and anyone interested in explore programming and electronics.
And speaking of coding and learning, we're excited to talk to you today about our series of video tutorials. This series is a guide to create projects from IoT, from all the mother makers out there.
It's a design to take you from the most basic concepts and to advanced functions to the Arduino card,
allowing us to develop into how to use Arduino Cloud Platform to make your projects to the next level.
Yes, this integration of Internet of Things opens up a world of possibilities.
All to facilitate step-by-step learning with projects, as well as to get to know more about the different Arduino boards and to discover and explore their sensors.
Ready for a sneak peek of these amazing things? Let's take a look at these special projects where I combine Lego and Arduino. It's a fantastic way to see how technology can be educational and fun.
This project is just a sample of what is possible when we combine creativity with hands-on learning. A Lego piece transformed into a small hanger with Arduino Nano 30D IoT, LED rings, and photoresistor, all integrated with the structure using 3D printing.
This isn't just a regular hanger. It's a fun gadget that glows and take your phone when you put something on it or take something off.
Our tutorial guides you through every step from assembly to programming, with tips and tricks for using the Arduino Cloud Platform and actually the dashboard.
So we invite you to dive into our series of tutorials, discover at your own pace, experiment with new ideas, and above all, share your creation with this wonderful community.
Yeah, the Arduino community is incredible and celebrates curiosity, education, and innovation. Together, we can inspire a new wave of creators who could not only dream the future, but also have the tools to build it.
We invite you to find us on social media as Moon Makers on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Twitter, and as well LinkedIn.
Thank you very much and
Happy Arduino Day 2024! Keep creating!
See you next time!
Bye!
Adios!
Wow, I really appreciate the passion from Moon Makers, and they really have a project-based approach.
It is, and also I think the space that they created for the kids to learn coding, tinkering, and also making all those kind of crazy things come true is really a nice thing. So personally, I feel like if I have those kind of space, I would like to create more things. And next is Tommaso from the European School Net. He will also introduce us how they are designing and also like to help with the future learning and also innovative tech spaces in providing the solution for the next generation. So welcome, Tommaso.
Hello everybody, my name is Tommaso Della Vecchia. I've been working since 2012 for European Schoolnet, which is the network of 34 ministries of education and national agencies in Europe, bringing about innovation in education. And I'm very happy to be here with you today for greeting you and wishing you all the best for this important day organized by Arduino. Now, I'm very pleased also to address you from this place, which is the Future Classroom Lab. But you may wonder, where am I actually? Well, this is a space that we built more than 10 years ago to make visible what was instead very abstract. We wanted with this space to challenge visitors to rethink the way they were doing education. So we wanted them really to think about how can we activate learning in our schools? How can we really make our teaching more innovative, engaging, and meaningful for our students? And here you can experiment that, and you can try to combine three major elements that we see fundamental for active learning, which is the innovative learning space, of course, the physical environment, the furniture, the spaces that you have the chance to work within. You have, most importantly, the pedagogical practices, the teaching approaches that you use in your lessons, in your classes. And then you have, of course, also very importantly, the hardware, the software, the digital solutions, the educational technologies that you can integrate in your teaching. Coincidence that I'm wearing today the EU Code Week t-shirt, which is an initiative that we've been proudly supporting for many, many years together with the European Commission. In this initiative, as well as in the Future Classroom Lab, we advocate for computer science to be taught in an active way, in an engaging way, creative way. We want students to build something with their hands, with their minds, with their fingers, with a digital or analogic tool, but still with in mind a purpose, with in mind an objective that they would achieve by giving a shape to the ideas they have. And while doing so, really developing a deep understanding on how technology works and how the digital world is really relevant to them, relevant to the issues they encounter, societal, climatic, environmental, so all kind of purposeful use of technology they can think of. It's a possibility for learning. And this is also Brussels, so it's also where many European directives and suggestions and recommendations come. And of course, among them, there's a strong support and encouragement for schools and ministries of education and member states to embrace what it's called also often informatics, an active way of learning coding, programming, digital skills, foundational digital skills, to be able to interpret today's digital society and world and economy in a better way, and really giving the students the chance to do that more. So if you are among those teachers, educators, experts, trainers, entrepreneurs that believe on digital skills and the need for developing them, you're definitely not alone. At several layers you will receive support from these grassroots initiatives such as the EU Code Week or the Future Classroom Lab. At the more intermediary level from European Schoolnet and all the activities that we developed to train teachers and students on active digital citizenship, for instance, and also from the policy level, because the European Commission and the member states are doing, of course, their utmost to design policies that would make the learning and the development of digital skills and competencies, and most specifically of computer science, informatics, and the many other ways in which these skill sets are called, really right and a reality for each and every student. So once again, thank you for the organizer for the kind invite to greet you all, and I wish you all the best for the continuation of this Arduino Day. Thank you so much.
So I think that there's a lot of people that you are waiting for the Alvik to be in the market. But let's be a little bit patient. Check out in the link that we bring here and then sign up to the waiting list. We will keep you updated. And thanks, Tommaso, for getting us the insight to introduce those kind of future classroom. So I was thinking that, of course, we should spread all those kind of classroom all around the world. Because in this case, I think right now, nowadays, like all the children that they might be stick into their smartphone and just watch the videos. But of course, there are a lot of fun of creating and also making with hands-on things.
Yeah, well, you just mentioned smartphones, and we always think that smartphones are a dangerous tool in the hands of kids because they are a way to lose time playing games, watch videos, but actually they can also be a tool for learning. And this is what we try to do with the Science Kit Rev 3, which was launched during the past year, and that is it's a great product because it's hands-on activities with a lot of sensors and a lot of content we develop with teachers again, a no-code approach and no complex setting, and it is paired with the Science Journal app, which is an app that was originally developed by Google and that we moved forward with, and that can really give life to the data and everything that is recorded by the Science Kit, and clearly showed on the app to visualize data and understand actually very difficult and theoretical principles of physics. We actually brought the Science Kit to YED, and it was also a very nice collaboration we did with some Italian universities to create some interactive demos. So to explain, again, very theoretical and difficult physics principles with playful and colorful demos. So maybe you were at BET with New Melas there, and you might remember the colorful objects that were designed by the Interactive Institute of Design and La Sapienza University. And because we are all united in trying to make very complex and abstract content playful and hands-on.
So now I would like to invite our colleagues. So there will be Roxana and also Leonard, who will introduce you the Science Kit Rev 3 together with our Science Journal app, that you will have a more interesting way to understand that what the products can be worked in classroom. And we also have the honor to invite Dr. Alan Bates, who contribute a lot with our team for the content and also for those kind of developing of the product, which is also part of the teacher-centric those kind of project that we develop with them. So, and he also have his students who are using the Science Kit to make a lot of interesting experiments. So let's check it out.
Hello everyone, I am Roxana and
Leonard, yeah.
Hello. So today we want to talk about science, but more specifically about physics. So Leonard, how was your learning experience with physics and science?
I think physics was firstly a subject that caught my interest of the first time itself, compared to like other subjects like biology and chemistry.
Okay.
Only because I think it was a lot about how things behave and how things work, and a lot about facts about the real world. So that was definitely nice to know, and I was super drawn into learning about the different theories, but I think at some point it got a bit too much. I think it was like a lot of formulas and a lot of theories, and at that point I think I started like losing interest in the subject. So I really wish at some point this could have been a bit more hands-on.
Yeah.
A bit more, definitely like a bit more playful.
Yeah.
Because I mean, come on, I was in school and I really loved something that was fun to do as well while you learn things. So that was really something that I wish that I had when I learned physics.
That's true. And this is what is happening right now. Many students are losing interest in physics because they are missing the hands-on part, right? So they think physics is boring, too theoretical, and too hard, too abstract, because they are also missing this connection to the real world.
Yeah.
So, but how can we change this notion? You know, how can make physics more hands-on? So let's take a look at how the new Arduino Science Kit R3 is doing. Exciting. So this is a very nice hands-on tool. But Leonard, tell us a little bit more about what makes the Science Kit R3 so special.
So for the Science Kit R3, you have two components. So one you have is the Science Kit carrier that comes with an RP2040 on board. And then you have the Science Channel app, which is like a download on any phones like iOS or Android. And the special thing about this kit is that you don't need any coding. So it's straight out of the box. So you can take it out, plug it to your computer, power it, and then play around with all the sensors that you can see on this board. So, for example, you have sensors that can control current and voltage, but you can also have some sort of output to these things that you control. So you can, for example, add a speaker and play around with the different values and see how it affects the noise. So this way, you can see like how, in a playful way, like how you can control certain things, certain elements, but also you can also see the values on the app as well. So if you want to like read, say the accelerometer, for example, you can directly see it on the app. You can like create a lot of experiments. So the good thing about it is that you can take pictures, write some notes, and record your sensor values and put it to the experiment. So that way, you don't need a notebook or like extra things to do this. It's very simple that you can just use these two items here that you see to your experiment, and also but spend more time experimenting it than learning about how to control the board or like use the app.
So it's a very cool tool for students because they can create their own experiments and they can be more creative to discover and experience physics. So, but let's take a look at how a physics teacher in the UK is implementing the kit with his students.
Hello, I'm Alan Bates, physics teacher here at Haileybury College UK, and I'm here to talk about my experiences with the Arduino Science Kit Rev 3. I find the kit is amazing for many reasons, but first of all, I think it's amazing because you can do so many experiments from different parts of the curriculum with the kit. And I'll give you a couple examples now.
Hi, today we're doing a temperature absorption experiment. First, we start by connecting the Arduino Science Kit to a temperature probe, which is then attached to a black matte metal disc.
What's very useful about the Arduino Science Kit is that it can connect via Bluetooth to the Arduino Science Journal app. And this is very useful because it provides information live, and we can actually visualize our data live as well. Here, what we're doing is we're conducting an experiment comparing how the material of these disks affect how well these disks can absorb thermal radiation. And what this tells us is, using the temperature probe, we can measure the differences in temperature.
Also, it is expected that as a result of this experiment, since the black metal disc has a higher absorption than the silver disc, it is expected to see a greater temperature change when the probe is connected to the black disc.
Okay, so here you have our ping echo time sensor, and if we place a barrier, so for instance this is like a piece of cardboard, it's able to then measure the ping echo time.
So the ping echo time is basically the time it takes for a wave produced by the sensor to reflect on our cardboard piece and come back to the sensor. We measure it, and through it we can also calculate the speed of sound.
And it's also dependent on the temperature, which we have a function here that we can then also control in order to subtract and see what the actual speed of sound and air is.
Okay, so in this experiment, we're using the Arduino Science Journal Kit and the app to basically record the ambient light produced by the bulb. And we're also measuring the voltage and current at the same time, which allows us to calculate the power consumed by the bulb. And the voltage is measured across, and the current which goes through the bulb. And then
through changing the resistance with this variable resistor, like so. Stop slightly. We can change the voltage and current and thus change the power. And this can be seen through the brightness emitted by the bulb.
Right, so what we have here is the Arduino Science Kit. We've got a wave generator attached to a speaker with some masses on spring, and below them we have a sound sensor. So if we create a sound, we can then allow the masses to oscillate, and in the Science Journal app, we can see the wave generated by the sound sensor. And
the Science Journal gives us an easy way to interpret the data and measure the period of an oscillation. We can measure 10 oscillations and then simply divide by 10 to find the period of one oscillation. By changing the mass, we can investigate how mass is related to the period of oscillation.
Students can complete experiments in forces, motion, in sound, waves, oscillations, electricity, thermal physics, thermodynamics, gases. So it's a kit that really incorporates, includes or incorporates the whole part of the curriculum. I think it's easy to use. You can connect it to the Science Journal app, which works on Chromebooks, smart devices, Android, iOS, that means iPads or tablets. So there are many possibilities and many ways you can use this kit in the classroom in a very creative way. What's amazing about the kit is the amount of experiments that students can do across the whole physics and science curriculum, starting with middle school all the way up to the end of high school. And not just in the UK curriculum, the IB, the US, global curricula, physics is the same. We all have to do experiments, students have to do experiments. And what this kit offers is a way to do experiments that's straightforward, easy to use, but also allows students to investigate new types of experiments, to take risks, to say, what if I change this variable? Can I measure the effect? And I think that's one of the important parts of the kit, is not only to follow the curriculum and do the standard prescribed experiments, but also give students the opportunity to go out there on their own, to take risks and do something new with this kit. And students can do experiments basically anywhere they have their iPhones or iOS devices or Android, because the kit can be powered by battery. Students can do experiments in school, in the lab, or also at home. At home, outside, the kit can be powered by battery. So there are lots of possibilities to do science in non-traditional learning environments, not only in the classroom, but take that scientific, what would you say, exploration beyond the walls of the school, out there into the real world. So this is a huge advantage the kit offers. Everything fits in the small box. As I said, can be battery operated. It connects with different types of devices, and students have the chance to run with it, to run with their own experiments, to create and to be innovative in how they, what would you say, look at the world around them, but not only observe, but take data and analyze this data to come to some conclusion about the effect of one variable on another variable. Also, the Arduino Science Kit Rev 3, I believe, gives the opportunity for students to develop a more personalized style of learning. And this is like a shift away from prescribed experiments. They are very important, prescribed experiments, because we learn a lot of basic skills of experimental science and experimental physics. However, students need to, develop their own approach, design their own investigation, but not only design, carry them through to record the data, analyze the data, and answer, you would say, their research question, to find an answer to their exploration. And I think the kit gives this possibility. I think it empowers students to go off in school, outside school, at home, outside in the open. It empowers them to really take a risk, to ask themselves, what if I change this variable? What if I measure this? Does this variable change throughout the day? Does this variable X depend on variable Y, or vice versa? So I think this is really important in terms of physics and science education, is to give students the opportunity to think, say, oh, your learning and your success is not only based on a written exam at the end of the year or at the end of the course, that it's based on your skill and how you combine knowledge in a very creative and innovative way. So I believe the kit offers this opportunity because there are just so many sensors on the kit, and the way the kit connects to smart devices, making it possible to do an experiment anywhere, any place, anytime. Arduino have provided content that goes with the Rev 3 Science Kit. So these are kind of ideas or experiments to guide teachers and students through certain processes or prescribed experiments. And I believe it's through these processes that you learn, first of all, become very familiar with the kit, how to connect, how to record data, and how to analyze the data. So the content offers a lot, not only just plugging the kit in, but how to do those experiments, but also the whole scientific method and the advice and support that comes with the content. So I find this is very, very helpful for myself, but most importantly for my students, and especially students who want to move ahead, who want to go ahead with the content and don't want to wait for me, their teacher, to explain every single thing. So the student says, look, next project we're doing, I want to use this. I find this great. I can bring it home. I can do the experiment at home. I just need this few pieces of equipment, but I've got the kit. I've got the Science Journal app. And that's wonderful for me, because I like students to kind of step outside the curriculum, not just think of, well, what do I need to know for the test, but what can I do to enrich this experience with physics, with science? And it's kind of a long-term investment, but it's an ability to combine many skills together: experimental, scientific, and STEM.
Alicia, were you good at physics when you were in the high school or the secondary schools?
No, actually I was so bad at it. I used to love math, but physics was always too abstract for me to understand it or to have interest in it. But I think it really is because there weren't such interactive and cool tools to learn about it.
Totally. So I don't like physics when I was in high school because I also think it's too boring. But if there's any of the time machine, I would say that I really wanted to have the science kit also in my high school. So I won't say that physics like bored or boring anymore. So this is also like the teachers are playing a very important role here to teach all this kind of interactive, engaging content to the students. So now we are back into our community talk. There will be Ohin from Norway, that he was also building something cool and also fun to his students. And let's check out.
Hello, my name is Joachim Scheie, and I run and operate a MakerSpace for kids in my local area since 2016. So the MakerSpace is called Skaperiet, which roughly translates to the makery in English. And we have two groups attending. The youngest group is from 7 to 10 years old, and they participate along with their parents. And then we have an older group, which are from 10 to 13 years old. When we look at our society, we are rapidly moving towards a more digital era. And yet, when we look at the school system, at least in the Western countries, we can see that the creative spaces are becoming less and less prevalent. And they're being replaced by theoretical and academic sessions. So in this video, I want to focus on what's important. I want to focus on the children and their creativity. So for the remainder of this video, I will put myself in the background. As with most MakerSpaces, our goal is to create and facilitate a collaborative space where participants can come together and explore, create and learn through hands-on projects. At our MakerSpace, we combine programming and digital manufacturing techniques like 3D printing and laser cutting with traditional tools and mechanics. Skaperiet has a desire for others to be able to provide the same experience to children outside of our local environment. So we spend a lot of time writing and publishing guides containing both video, text and images. At Skaperiet, programming and electronics are more often than not part of the projects that we build. Therefore, we have built programming tools that let the children program microcontrollers using a block-based environment in the browser that we've called Blockuino. Blockuino has worked well for children aged 10 up at Skaperiet for many years, but for the younger children, we have recently developed a mini version of Blockuino, aptly named Blockuino Mini, that removes as much of the overhead as possible, including replacing as much text as possible with icons and symbols. The goal is for the children to be as self-proficient as possible. We try to use tools that are as suitable to their age group as possible. Some of the tools that we use are Tinkercad for designing 3D models for 3D printing, or we use Inkscape for 2D modeling, for laser cutting or vinyl cutting. And then of course we use both Blockuino and Scratch for programming. So in general, our MakerSpace are deeply rooted in the do-it-yourself ethos. And at Skaperiet, our goal is to foster collaboration as well, extending the ethos to a do-it-with-others mentality. From a STEM perspective, MakerSpace for children are incredibly positive as they provide a tangible arena for learning through hands-on prototyping. Our goal is never for the children to produce exactly what is being demonstrated, but to allow them to use any tool and any material that are available at the MakerSpace for their own projects. Many of the projects at our MakerSpace is based around microcontrollers and programming them to make things happen in the real world. Programming microcontrollers with children or at all wouldn't be possible without the Arduino. The Arduino has pioneered, simplified and made available both the hardware and the programming tools for anyone. In fact, the backend of Blockuino is based around Arduino CLI, which are used to compile the code into hex files, which are then transferred to the browser and then up to the microcontrollers that Blockuino supports. At heart, Blockuino is made to be open sourced, and we are aiming to open source it during 2024, which is our way of giving back to the Arduino community. I hope this short trip into the world of MakerSpace for children has been inspirational. Thank you for your attention.
Wow, it's really a nice way to involve the young kids, and how cool it is that I feel like there's a full of possibilities that we are supporting education from such an early age, because they are using the block-based coding, right? And there will be also another way that we are interacting with higher education. So here you see what I bring. So there's the Opta that is so professional, which I kindly don't understand what it can do, you know. So, but it's addressed to the automation and also the PLC world. But can you give me more information about that?
Yeah, of course. So Opta is one of our products from the Pro line. And we've recently launched our first starter kit using the Opta. It's going to be called the PLC Starter Kit, and it comes equipped also with these DIMM board extensions for I/Os, easy control of I/Os, and some more sensors. And this is going to be our first product for education within the automation field. So we really want kids to start early using our PLC IDE and in general learning about ladder and PLC language so that they can prepare for their future in the automation industry.
But to be honest, it's still a little bit complicated because when I saw those kind of black hardware, I think it's a little bit abstract for me. But I really wanted to know that how this kind of product can be related to the real life.
Yeah, well, this is why we have Pierluigi and Francesca from our product management team. They will introduce you all to the new PLC Starter Kit and how this solution can facilitate a learning experience within the automation field.
Wow.
So please, Pier and Francesca, come join us and tell us more.
Hi everyone, this session is about the PLC Starter Kit, one of our brand new products from our education line. With me it's Francesca.
Ciao Pier. Hello
and
everyone.
We are going to talk about this product right here, which is based on a PLC. The Opta PLC is one of our industrial products that we decide to have inside one of our educational kits.
Pier, but why? Why did we decide to go for this very nice product?
We decide to have an industrial product inside an educational kit because it's super important to explain to the student how to program and how to use it in a real world while they are still in school. So this is meant for higher education. This is meant for vocational school. And we decide a brand new hardware. We are out with this DIN board, which are specially designed for the PLC Starter Kit.
This is really, really interesting, Pier. It's really exciting, the fact that inside a student kit, we basically are offering a product that is an industrial product. And it is certified to work in the industry. It has I/Os that are basically programmable, that offer real actuation from electromechanical relays, and that also has an Arduino core inside.
Sure.
And that can offer both the programming experiences, Arduino programming experience, but also the IEC programming experience you were telling me about before. So I would be really interested in knowing more about what we can offer in terms of easy programming inside our platform.
Actually, you are the expert, we know, but all the professionals out there are using PLCs in order to have industrial automation. So like every traffic lights is based on PLC, every roller coaster out there is based on PLC, and we have plenty of professionals happy to program them. There we are with an employability skill in order to teach students how to program PLC. And you know, there are plenty of languages out there that professionals use to program PLC starter kits, such as ladder, such as structural test. We are offering the students 20 hours or so curriculum in order to start from zero to program their first PLC.
This is really interesting. But also you were telling about the IEC 6, 11, 13 languages, right? So
Exactly.
You said about experiences. This is
Exactly.
really
We have we followed all the standards that are used in the out there in the industry, and we designed some other hardware. So together with the professional hardware, you find some board that are super useful to simulate the industrial environment inside the school. So the strength of this product is that students can use a very specific product that they will find in their probably first job in some years, but they can use it at school with our product. Everything is super documented online, so you can go in our website, arduino.cc/PLC Starter Kit, and find every details about the product. We published a course online in our cloud, and we defined all the programming languages we talked about. All the product is cloud ready and is documented as all our portfolio of products.
As a step-by-step training to start from scratch, learning the languages and learning how to program it, let's say, to build competencies on the PLC programming.
Exactly.
That's really exciting.
All the product is documented on our store. You find all the specs. It will be available very soon. And as we said, the core is the Arduino Opta, which is also viable together with the kit.
But I have a question here, Pierre. I always have questions. But basically, what is the differentiating factor for this kit compared to what we can find available on the market?
Out there on the market, there are some other kits quite similar, but with Arduino product, as you might know, we have an help center with all the questions answered by us with a certain tutorial to follow. We have a support team, the customer experience professional in our company, which are answering 24 hours to you. They're based in all the time zone out there. So you'll find always a colleague of us answering your question. Also, how to differentiate from the market. For sure, we are cloud compatible, and as well, you can program the PLC with the Arduino language, which is something that makes the technology easy to approach for every student. What else? What do you think is the most valuable point here?
From my perspective, having a product that you can use and you can start learning with it, and that basically lets you scale up to something that you can just as is reuse in your real life job, with really a bunch of possibilities given by a product that is connected, suitable for the cloud experience, but also with a secure element on board, with a lot of experiences that can help you to build competencies in both sides. I mean, from the IEC standard languages, but also from the Arduino standpoint. So what you will get in the pack is a certain type of experiences, but then you can also build your own experiences after you have achieved the competency. So from my perspective, this is really a great point to start with.
Okay. Hard skill, easy to use, very friendly online and on cloud, but also it's a powerful hardware. So with the PLC Starter Kit, we kind of plug into the future of automation. And we are also super happy to provide this product to schools all around the world. In a few, it will be available with all our partners and distributors out there. And for sure, it's going to be available for direct channel. So go online, go on the store, and you will find all the specs about the PLC Starter Kit. So here we are after several months of designing and prototyping, but today we are super happy because it's Arduino Day again, and we really love the community, we really love the open source. So happy Arduino Day, everybody. Thank you, Francesca.
Thank you for being with us, and have a good rest of your Arduino Day today with us. Thank you. Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Well, very nice. Thank you guys for the introduction. And well, the project will be available on our store on April 3rd. So you can go to the page at the link that we're sharing to have a further look at the product. And yeah, be ready on April 3rd to go and buy it.
Yeah, so definitely you need to check it out and also to sign up, because I think that it's close up, and then we should expect that you can start to use it now. And then let's go back a little bit to what we received from the schools and also the students, that they are making their own project. But before that, Alicia, I have a question also for you. Like, do you still remember what's your first electronic project?
Yeah, of course I remember it. It was back in 2008, and it was an interactive box that I was developing for a traveling exhibition in Sweden. It was so cool as a designer to be able to prototype something electronic and something interactive. So I will never forget it, I think.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. I really think that from the early age, all those kind of students, that they should enjoy those kind of hands-on, like making things. It's a lot of fun. So now you can expect there will be the students that they are from the Altillo International School from Spain. That is time for the students.
Hello, we are in Altillo International School in Spain, and we would like to show you the junior MakerSpace our team has built.
And the Arduino project inside. Last year, we collaborated in a group to make the junior MakerSpace because we believe that children should be creative and have a maker mindset.
We have created an artificial tree in our junior MakerSpace that becomes alive thanks to Arduino.
With Arduino, we have made it possible to touch the tree and light up a few lights in the ceiling.
And today, we are going to try it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Keep developing your creativity
and inspire the world.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Pilar Díaz. I am 15 years old, and I am a part of El Altillo International School. So today I would love to present my newest Arduino project. It is called the keyless keyboard. So imagine this. Imagine a really big piano, but instead of keys, you have sensors that detect if you're taking an input into it. Now imagine that it can create any type of sound, and it can play any note within that sound. So that's what I'm trying to do. So the first phase we had is I started investigating about this little sensor. So this is a sensor which detects the distance an object is from it. So I started doing some research about it, and I came out to the conclusion that it's really powerful, and it can measure really, really close the distance your hand or any object is from it. So then I started thinking, well, what could I do with this? And then I combined my two best hobbies, which are technology and music. The way I tried to do this at first was to make a piezo buzzer sound. So a piezo buzzer is just basically a really small buzzer that you can put tone and frequency into it to make it do a really specific sound. So with help with this sensor and some code, I was able to create the first phase of my project, which was making the piezo buzzer sound whenever the sensor receives an input. So I have it here. This was the first phase. So each time I put my hand over the sensor, it will detect it. And if you can hear, the piezo buzzer is making sound. So this was the first phase of my project. Let's jump on to the second phase. Okay, so after this first phase, the thing I wanted to experiment was with MIDI sounds. So you may think, what is MIDI? MIDI is basically a protocol that instruments use to send signals to the computer and convert it into a sound. So the thing you have to do when we are talking about MIDI is just to receive a signal. This signal, I try to do it with buttons instead of putting first the sensor, because it would be way harder. So before this version, I did a MIDI keyboard with buttons. Then I took the button code and I just substituted that with the sensor. So if the sensor is detecting something, a MIDI signal will be sent into the computer. And that way, if we have a MIDI player like this one, we can change it to any sound we want. And this is what we get. So here's the sensor, and each time I put my hand over it, I can create any sound with it. I can do some orchestra sounds, I can convert it into a trumpet, for example, and I can do any type of sound with it. This is my idea for the future. Imagine this as a very big platform, and someone is going to be standing in the middle. So when they put their arm out, they can play a note. But if we combine this with some type of dancing, so imagine you are moving your arms while you're playing some notes. You can learn how to play songs while dancing with the sensors. With this simple idea, we can do something really big. That's why I wanted to make this video. I want teenagers and people from all ages to try to combine their interests. My interest, for example, was music. And I combined it with Arduino and with technology to make something like this. My vision for the future is that I would love for other people to try to do some exciting projects like this, combining your interests in maybe, I don't know, cars, planes, whatever it is. You can combine it with technology, and with Arduino, it's a simple way to make it real.
Hello, my name is Jaime. I am from Spain, and I'm currently a student at the University of Pennsylvania in the US. I'm studying computer science. And I'm going to talk to you about an Arduino project I made when I was in my last years of high school, and how much I learned with it. It was incredible, and in fact, I would say it was even what made me want to switch from science to engineering, because I just want to build stuff. And the project I made was a balloon sword game, and it was... So you remember when you were little kids and you were playing with balloon swords that the clowns made, or maybe you made yourself, and it was fun. Well, now we made a machine to actually play it seriously, and it's like an Iron Man armor. I don't have it here, but there will be a video of it. And it has a piezoelectric sensor, which is connected to the Arduino inside a 3D printed shell. That looks pretty cool, I think. And inside, when the piezoelectric sensor is triggered beyond a certain threshold value, then the Arduino sends a signal to the LEDs, and it turns off one of them, and it has a buzzer too, and it does beep, and that means you've lost a life, and you have 5 lives indicated by 5 lights. And when you lose all of them, there's beep 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 beep, and you've lost, and you died. So now you can actually do competitions, like serious competitions with balloon swords, and it's really fun. And while the concept and the device itself is pretty simple, it was quite a challenge to develop, because there was all this 3D printing design, there was the Arduino, the soldering, and everything was made from scratch. This is something that didn't exist before. It took a lot of trial and error, and I especially remember one day, right before we were going to present the project, we were all in the Fab Lab just working from, I think it was from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It was crazy, and it was super fun. We were working all day, and then we ate some pizza, and the next day was the actual Makers Fair, and that's where we presented our project. And it was a total success, because all both little kids and the teachers and everyone was playing with the game, and they were having so much fun, and they were competing with each other. And I also hope to have inspired many of them by explaining to them how the Arduino works and how it is made and how you can make whatever you want with it. It is true, however, that the device broke all the time, and we were constantly having to repair it. It was very stressful, also quite fun, but stressful overall. And then the next year, we made a lot of improvements on the design, made it much more sturdy, and we presented it again at the Makers Fair, and there were no problems. It didn't break at all, and it was a total success. So yes, overall, this project was a very good learning experience by trial and error. I must say, the Fab Lab is by far the place where I've learned the most in my life up to now, because you make these projects which you are actually excited for, because you're creating something that you want to create and that doesn't exist. And also, it's not designed to work in the first attempt, because it's not designed. You have to design it yourself. That's the whole idea. That's the challenge. And it is a very good learning experience for yourself. And also, as you saw, it brings a lot of value, and it can also inspire a lot of people to become engineers and contribute to the world.
This video is about a low-cost, Wi-Fi controlled differential drive robot which I built using the Arduino Nano RP2040 Connect. And my name is Lucas, and here you can see the robot in action. So it's controlled wirelessly through Wi-Fi from your computer. So you can just drive it using your keyboard. There's a simulation part of it as well, where you can drive the robot in Gazebo and drive it around the world in you build in Gazebo. And as I'm using the Navigation 2 open source framework for localization and mapping for the slum problem. So you can see in Alvis building the map, or just using a simulated LiDAR. However, there's a bunch of tools used in this project: ROS2, robot operating system, Arduino, Python, Gazebo, C++, and the robot is controlled over Wi-Fi. So fair amount of complexity. And I would like to talk you through a process which I used to manage this complexity even in this Arduino project. And the approach is called systems engineering, which allows you to systemically and systematically take a product or system from concept by understanding what the stakeholder needs, all the way through design, implementation, testing, utilization, and all the way through to retirement. So it all starts with a customer, and our customer has a need or some undesirability in his current situation, and so we need to work with them to be able to understand what the undesirable situation is. So we need to understand what their problem is, and to be able to do that, we can draw a context diagram where we define the system boundary, define the different stakeholders, different users in our system boundary, and we can try and look at the different use cases they might be involved in. So in this particular case, we have a bunch of superheroes trying to fight off Grinch who is ruining Christmas. And once we've understood the problem, we can try and look at solutions. And as a good systems engineer, there should always be more than two solutions or two or more solutions to choose from and do trade-off. And we can really look at how these different solutions perform based on the stakeholders' needs and so-called measures of effectiveness. And the next logical step is breaking down the system, building the system architecture from the structural perspective. So looking at the different subsystems within our differential drive robot and how they communicate to one another, what the interfaces between them are, and also trying to analyze the functional aspect, so mapping the system functions and trying to understand what their inputs are, the disturbances to those functions, and what the outputs of those functions might be. And here we can see the control wheel speed function in action. So it's achieved, or it's realized through combination of hardware and software. The Arduino is involved, the code in the Arduino is involved, the motors are involved, the encoders are involved, the motor driver is involved. So it's a complex system function which is realized partially by software, partially by hardware. And very often the development cannot really start with everything already available. So maybe we only have the battery, the driver, and the connectors, the motor, and the wheels ready to start testing the physical hardware. So we need, and to be able to do this, we can use software in loop and hardware in loop methods, which allow us to test system when only a part of it is physically available. And the way I implemented it was I set up a REST API server on my laptop, which allows me to send PWM and speed set points to the real robot and read back the angular velocity. So here is just the interface of what it looks like. So 4 sliders, 2 for PWM, 2 for the speed set points. And we can tune the controller, the PID controller controls the wheel speed in the browser on our laptop, and then just deploy it on the MCU. And here you can see poor performing. So with random guess of the controller parameters, we get very poorly performing PID. However, what we can do, and this is just a visualization of that, what we can do is we can use optimization to try another Excel loop setup to tune the PID controller. And so we can apply maximum PWM to get the system response, so-called step response, and fit a model to that. And we can use this model to then tune our PID controller so that the response from the system is as we would like it to. And in this case, we can see through applying the new gains, we can get much better response from our system, and the actual value is actually meeting the set point value fairly well. So big shout out to PID Tuner and Plotly for making it very easy to tune a PID controller and visualize data in the browser. And thank you for watching.
Thanks, Luca. So my mind was kindly blowing right now, because every time when I see all those kind of projects, I was always inspired by all those kind of makers, and also those kind of projects that they were so concentrated when they were building the robot. Actually, I can imagine that when the final robot comes out, it must be a blast of joy. But to be honest, when I was starting with any of my project, I was always afraid of making the mistakes.
Yeah, well, but that's not a problem, right? Learning and making is not always about reaching success. It's also very much about the learning process. And we very often learn from mistakes. This is something I really feel we should encourage in learning. And because the making process is very often an iterative process, so it has to go through try and error. And that's where you learn about the technicalities. That's how you learn about your capabilities as well. So I think we should foster that kind of culture as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good word. So I might have more courage by making mistakes as well. Yeah, right, that's true. So next, I would like to thank a little bit our partner, which is from TME Education. And now we also invite Agnieszka from TME, that she will bring us a lot of projects that we will see how they are showcasing our Arduino all over the world.
Hi, it's TME Education here. Once again, we are thrilled to celebrate Arduino Days together with our team and communities. We focus on practical aspects of training, create our own educational tools, among which our Arduino-based educational kit is our absolute favorite. Let's pay a visit to our team members and find out how they work on a daily basis.
Hi. My name is Precious Peter, TME Education tutor in Botswana.
My name is Kitimeteneo Mudipani. I'm TME Education Ambassador in Botswana.
I'm very excited to had an opportunity to teach the students here in Botswana in various communities.
Students are able to broaden and supplement their theoretical knowledge and skills.
So TME Education provides electronics kit and Arduino. Electronics offers an exciting and fulfilling career path for girls and providing endless opportunities for creativity.
So what we do is we help students be creative, be able to collaborate, and also learn how to problem solve some problems they encounter during our workshops.
Regardless of the gender, anyone with passion for electronics can thrive in the dynamic field, and contribute to the shaping future of technology.
As a woman in tech or in STEM fields, my wish has always been helping a girl child to try and follow in my footsteps, or to help them choose a career path in the tech industry.
Here we have been going around in Botswana, various communities, teaching both girl child and also the boys and the teachers and the students in universities.
As a girl child, we have the power to develop groundbreaking technologies and inspire generations to come.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
My name is Engineer Jafar Ndembo. I am an electrical and electronics engineer, and I am a proud TME Education Ambassador from Tanzania. One of the core pillars of my work as an ambassador has been the promotion and utilization of Arduino technology. One project in my particular stand out in my memory, the creation of the sanitary pads vending machine. In countries where access to the menstruation hygiene product can be limited, especially in rural areas, this project addressed a crucial need by leveraging Arduino technology. Beyond the specific project, what truly matters is the impact we had on individuals and the community. Through Arduino, we have witnessed young minds light up with excitement as they see their ideas come to life. We have seen teachers embrace new teaching methodologies, sparking a passion for STEM education in their students, and we have seen communities come together to tackle local challenges, leveraging technology for positive change. Let us continue to harness the power of Arduino to build a brighter, more inclusive future for all. Happy Arduino Day 2024.
Hello everyone, my name is Shaukat Ali Zahir Hussain. I am the founder and technical director of Robotics Labs and Tanzania Open Innovation Organization. At the same time, I am a tutor for TME Education here in Tanzania. It is my great honor and opportunity to take this to tell you a story of our project base in Tanga, a region that has been exposed to this new technology initially by us. The history of Tanga is that it hasn't been exposed to these things on a great level or particular level of time. And we have been in Tanga for the past 3 years, working with youths in the community who have little to no exposure to technology, innovation, microcontrollers, and so much more that you can imagine. And along this beautiful journey, throughout this entire journey, in fact, we have been able to create some wonderful projects that I think some should be highlighted in this small documentation that we're here doing today. So we would like to thank TME Education and in support of Arduino for the amazing components that you've given us. And we can't wait to see you guys at the Arduino Day happening in 2024 this March. So stay tuned, take care, and we can't wait to see you there. See ya.
TME Education has been promoting electronics and technology-related knowledge since 2016. Now we are present in 26 African countries and India, and thanks to our dedicated ambassadors and tutors, we are able to spread vocational skills in regions where proper educational resources are difficult to obtain.
TME Education! Together we move forward!
Well, that was our last session for today, and what a day. Thank you everybody for being here to celebrate Arduino Day. This year I think it was the 11th session, the 11th Arduino birthday we're celebrating, and we just got told that there have been more than 260 events around the world to celebrate with us these 3 days, so we're very proud of our community and the dedication that they put in this.
Oh, that's a large number.
Yeah.
I really excited about all those kind of stories shared by everyone, and also like there's the teachers, students that are really inspiring us. So like if you have more stories or other like anything that you wanted to share and also wanted to tell us, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and also LinkedIn. Especially that you should subscribe our newsletters. Just go to our website, arduino.cc. On the foot that you will see, there's the blank that you can just fill up your emails. And there's another thing I want to mention to you. So we are offering the discount, of course, during these days. So there's the 15% discount on our Arduino store. It will be until Sunday, so you still got your time to pick up your best solution. And there's also the 30% from the cloud that you will have the yearly plan for our cloud. Let's have a try.
Yeah, so, well, but we're not just saying goodbye. This is just the end of the Education Arduino Day. But please join us again tomorrow, because we're going to have another wonderful day full of news and a very special product launch and a lot more surprises for our Community Day. So please come back and follow up with all the new updates for tomorrow.
So there's the new product.
Yeah.
What will be?
Well, if I say now, it's not going to be a special announcement
I really
anymore.
wanted to know that. But yeah, I don't want to end, but I think it's the time to say goodbye to you. So we will see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching today.
Bye-bye and happy Arduino Day.
Happy Arduino Day.